Colin Kaepernick continues to be a point of contention and constant distraction for the NFL. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk more about Colin Kaepernick. Yes, unfortunately we do. He's still in the news, and also Eric Reid. But before we get into all the details about it, I just want to tell you why we're here today. Colin Kaepernick allegedly had shown interest in the Seattle Seahawks for a backup job. Obviously, he would not get the starting job over Russell Wilson, who is black, which is important. We'll get to that in a minute. At some point during the communication, I guess the topic of the National Anthem protest was brought up. Maybe they wanted a commitment from him about not kneeling during the National Anthem, to which he declined to give an affirmative yay or nay. And as a result, he was disinvited from the workout, from the meeting, or whatever it is. So he's still without a job. Now, you also have his teammate or former teammate on the 49ers, Eric Reid. Eric Reid was with the team from 2013 until last year, 2017. He was on the Pro Bowl one time, his rookie year in 2013. He's not been back to the Pro Bowl since. He is kind of a mediocre player, in my humble opinion. Not a bad player, but not really a good player. First round pick, but not quite what you would expect from a first round pick. But I'll move on. As a free safety, strong safety, or whatever, he was okay, but not really that good. He tried to go to the Bengals to get a job there. During a meeting with the head coach, Marvin Lewis, who is also black, he was asked about the protest. And he was asked a similar question to Colin Kaepernick. Can you make a commitment to us that you're not going to do the National Anthem protest and kneeling or whatnot? Can you make that commitment to us right now? And I guess he declined to say yay or nay. Therefore, he did not get a job offer. Now, I don't know if the reason why he didn't get the job offer is because of the kneeling exclusively, or if it was because of his play in the field, or if it was a combination of both. Like I said, he's not really a good player or a bad player, but if you are a mediocre player and you're causing the team problems with the protest, then it may not be worth it to have you on the actual football field. It's really all about trying to win football games. At the end of the day, we're here to make money, and that's it. Colin Kaepernick, if he was trying to go on the Seahawks, it's about making money. And by the way, people want to claim racism. It ain't about that. Like I said, it's about money. If it was about racism, then why do the Seahawks have a black quarterback right now and Russell Wilson? And why did they sign a black backup quarterback after Colin Kaepernick was just invited? A guy by the name of Stephen Morris, a 25-year-old unknown guy. Okay. He may not make the final cut of the actual roster because right now they're signing guys, to a ballooned number, like 80 to 90 guys. Some guys may be on the practice squad, but you got to cut that number down to 53 men when the season starts. So you may not even make the final actual cut. But as of right now, they signed him the same way they could have signed Colin Kaepernick. Now, in the case of the Bengals, like I said, the head coach was black. And you have a couple of black players on the Bengals who have caused problems but still remain on the team. You have Vontaze Burfict, linebacker, and you have Patman Jones, a cornerback. Now, Patman Jones, I've been knowing about him since he was in college in West Virginia. He was a basket case, a head case back then. He broke a pool stick over somebody's head, all kind of crazy stuff he's been involved with. He just has some anger issues. At a certain point, if you're in the NFL, that may work to your advantage, but I digress. He's had a lot of off the field issues, not so many on the field, but definitely a lot of off the field issues. However, he does not bring that constantly to the workplace. Same thing with Vontaze Burfict. I think Vontaze Burfict is more of a cheap shotter kind of guy on the field. He does it occasionally, but not all the time. And you definitely don't see him doing interviews where he's talking about how good it is to be a cheap shotter. Okay. Now you do see Colin Kaepernick always talking about social injustice and white people this, white people that. His play on the field does not overtake what he does off the field and also on the field. Remember the socks he had on depicting cops as pigs, and then of course the national anthem kneeling every time you play. That's going to be a constant media distraction, and it's going to also take away from the team being able to win, and also at the end of the day, their bottom line. And Eric Reid the same way. Is Eric Reid good enough to have him on the football field, knowing that he's going to be an issue, knowing that his skill is not that good to overtake his issue. In the case of Michael Vick, we got to talk about him. I know it's illegal what he was accused of doing, although he really didn't do that. He was involved with other stuff, not necessarily fighting dogs himself, but I digress. Let's just say for this argument that he actually fought the dogs. In his case, that was illegal. He went to jail for 2 years and came back. He played 7 more years in the league. He was the most hated man in America. It was protests left and right all the time from regular individual normies, from PETA. A lot of other organizations were like, we don't want Michael Vick. We hate him. Get him out. However, his skill was so good, it was able to supersede all that. And then beyond that, he was not going out there on the football field or off the football field every week talking about how good it is to fight dogs. Now, I know that's a illegal thing versus a legal thing, which is what Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reid have done. You know, just saying certain things people disagree with or demonstrating in a way people don't agree with. However, people don't like when you do certain things, whether they be legal or illegal. The illegality is relevant to personal feelings. Prime example, what if a player was to go out there, a white player, a white quarterback, let's say it was Tom Brady. Let's say Tom Brady went out on the football field every week and just shouted the N-word during the National Anthem. That's not illegal. You can do that. You can't go to jail. You can't get locked up for using racial slurs, okay? However, people can still not like that, and it may cause people to protest the New England Patriots, to protest Tom Brady, and to protest the NFL. Then if it gets to a point where the protest is beginning to have an impact on your brand as a team, on the money at the end of the day, which is the bottom line, if you're losing 20 to 30% of your revenue in a year, your stands are becoming empty. Season tickets aren't going right. Advertisers are not trying to pump money into your team. Papa John's is starting to trip, and they're starting to lose money because people are trying to protest them because they associate them with you. At a certain point, you got to say, okay, is this one individual person who is not that good really worth it? In Michael Vick's case, he went on an apology tour. He was not talking about anything that he did that people hate in a glorified way. He was just out there performing at a high level, continuing to play football, which is what these two guys could do here if they would just say, we're going to leave all that protest stuff behind us and just get back to playing football. They are serviceable players in the league. However, their protest is getting in the way. It's losing money. It's alienating fans. It's changing the brand of the league. It's really just a self-serving thing. And as I close, I want to say this. People talk about racism and all this, that, and the third. Well, what are these guys really doing? Understand this. The NFL is majority black. I think like 70% black. Now, you have a majority black league, and these guys are making millions of dollars, many of them. Not all of them, but many of them are at least in hundreds of thousands. These guys are making a lot more money than the average person in the country would make. White, black, Puerto Rican, candy stripe, it doesn't matter. They're making way more than the average person. And this money can go towards their future, towards their children's future, towards their extended family's future. This is serious business. And when you got one guy or two guys being so self-serving, they don't care about the fate of the other, 40, 50 black guys on the team. All they care about is themselves, nor do they care about the entire NFL, which employs many, many more black men. And not only the players, but the coaches, coaching staff, the trainers, people that work in the stadium, the surrounding hotels, etc. You don't care about that. All you care about is virtue signaling to tell everybody that you are so-called woke. You are with the times. That doesn't do anything to help a team win, to help a team make money, which goes back into your pocket, into your family's pocket, into people that are around you, not your entourage, but your coaches, training staff, hotels, motels, airports, everybody. The whole economy that you create is starting to decline because you're trying to so-called stand up for injustice. And what is taking the knee going to do anyway? There are different ways you can go about that. You can just donate money, donate your time, or talk about it off the field. You taking the knee is like giving the proverbial middle finger to the flag. You could say it's not the reason why you do it, but it doesn't matter. If you have people that take it that way and it results in a dramatic decrease in business for the NFL, logically they would not have you on. If you were to stop doing that, or if you were a marquee player like a Russell Wilson, who you were trying to be the backup for, Colin Kaepernick, or if you were like a Vontaze Burfict or a Patman Jones, Eric Reid, if you were that level of player, maybe, just maybe, what you're doing off the field could be overlooked. But either way, I think you're making a selfish decision when you do stuff like this because you're not taking into account all those who depend upon the money that the league makes to feed themselves and their families. So what do you think? Do you think Colin Kaepernick should just stop the national anthem protest? Should he stop kneeling? Should he give an affirmative, I will not kneel this season, even if he lies? I mean, just try to get along with the program. And the same question for Eric Reid. The NFL, like I've said before, and I did a long debate about this, and I'll link to that in the box below. But the NFL stands for not for long. The average career of an NFL player, 3 years, 3.5 years max. And then you're talking about it has all kind of debilitating effects. If you get hit enough or just hit the right way, you can go out there your first year, get hit one good time, you have a career-ending injury, then it's all over. The NFL is a dangerous sport. Same thing with boxing and stuff like that. These are not rich man sports. Why would you go be an NFL player if you can go do something else? And that brings me back to Colin Kaepernick as I close. Colin Kaepernick in this whole protesting kerfuffle, the brouhaha, has created a new lane for himself as an activist. Now, like I say, I thought he was doing that and had stopped playing football. Why play football? It's dangerous. You're 30 years old. You're not getting any younger. The window is closing anyway. Since you run the football, especially, you're not going to be able to do that too much more. Once you get to be 35, 36, it's pretty much over. So what are you going to do after football? He should just retire right now, but maybe what he's doing by trying to allegedly join the Seahawks or having to work out, talk or whatever, maybe he's intentionally not allowing himself to be signed to make his public speaking profile more, to keep his name in the news. Maybe the same thing with Eric Reid, or he could just be blindly following Kaepernick, not knowing what Kaepernick's ultimate goal is. I'm just giving my 2 cents in my opinion, but whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.